Hi, and welcome to my channel. I am making Marvin the Martian, which is my favorite thing on the planet. And what you can see here is when I tried to use stiffener, it was an absolute nightmare. It did not work very well and it burnt my skin. So definitely use gloves for that. Um, I yeah, it was not fun at all. And in the future, I will definitely use like Mod Podge or something. So it was too long. One of the big issues was that it needed to be cut down pretty short. And it does say that in the pattern that I followed. But I just kept cutting it and then standing it straight up to see if it would stay. And I let the person know that she could let me know if it needed to be fixed. All right, I'm going to try to do a live, but before I get on that, I just wanted to show what I'm working on with a Marvin the Martian, and he's coming along quite nicely. However, I used the same needle, I followed the pattern, but this head feels like tiny. I don't know, compared to the helmet. So I might have to remake the head. It just feels like extra tiny. I don't know. This is the whole thing here, and then let me see if I can hold it in place. I don't know. I might have to remake the head because like it seems super tiny. All right, I'm gonna have to get the needles to hold this in place, but like this goes on top of here, and then it has a thing up there. That just seems like too small. I don't know. I use the same helmet size. Oh, maybe that's just because that's falling down. Okay, that helps a little bit. I don't know. This feels like too baggy. It's like oversized. Is this supposed to be oversized? Anyway, I'm working on, so the original pattern had like a picture of the eyes, which is not particularly helpful. Sorry, but I put it into a document so I can print it out at least and use the paper as a template. And eventually I just have I have a cutter, silhouette cutter, and it's just, I need to find the cords and like plug it in and do all that stuff. So technically I should be able to just like cut it straight out of the felt with that. I've got all the tools to do that. It's time consuming and I'm trying to finish this. So I'm just going to print that out. I got the circumference of the head. I put a circle in there and like lined the eyes up so I can print that, and then I'll cut the felt out and put it on here. And if this isn't big enough, then I'm going to have to redo this whole circle because it really is like this does not fit this, and I used the same needle and I followed the directions perfectly, and this is too small. Ugh, I don't want to have to redo it. I'm gonna have to redo it. Dang it. So I actually did not end up redoing the head. Once the helmet was on and the eyes, it worked out in a large part because the black kind of created a void space, and the slightly oversized helmet actually looked really good with Marvin the Martian. And this is true to pattern, so I did not make any adaptation. It was a really good pattern, I have to say. I was very happy with it. I could, if I were making it for myself, I might make the head a little bit bigger just because I don't know, I like it to fill the helmet a little bit more, or I would do a tighter tension on the helmet. But when I set it up, I did like how it turned out, and I let the person know that it was for if she needed anything changed, just let me know. So I was very happy with the results. This was a great pattern. This was a lot of fun to make. I would highly recommend, if somebody is a big fan of Marvin the Martian, to try it out. I saw a free version on YouTube that I do want to try as well, and it's more of like the baby Marvin the Martian, kind of shorter, bigger head, and less true to the original Marvin the Martian frame. So this was more true to the original frame, and I definitely enjoyed it. I want to make it again. I already have a tentative order for another one, and this is a copyright claim issue, so it's one of those things where if I'm making it for a friend, I'm happy to make it for them. So I let her know, like, this is something that I can make for you just to make it for you, but it's not technically something I could sell at markets or anything unless I get a copyright for it to redistribute, which I am looking into. I don't necessarily care about doing Disney stuff. I feel like everybody does Disney, but Warner Brothers, I would be more inclined to do Warner Brothers stuff. So I'm looking into that right now to see if I can get, if I can do that. Anyway, so that being said, love the pattern, super easy to work up, super enjoyable to make. However, the eyes on the pattern were a poor quality picture of the eyes that they made that were also not proportional to each other. So what I did is I uploaded the image into Silhouette. It's so I have a Silhouette cutting machine, and they have a program that I purchased years ago. Totally worth every penny. It's super easy to use. The learning curve is low comparatively to a lot of other programs. I also have Adobe, and I have CAD and all of those things, and they are so complicated. So I really appreciate this program when I'm just trying to like get something done quickly. So what I did is I took the original eyes and I created a copy outline of them and then erased all of the other stuff I didn't need. And then I went in with the eyes and I took away some of the nonsense, made it more proportional. So actually what I ended up doing, I redid this twice. And one of the eyes was just so wildly different than the other one that I ended up just doing one of the eyes and then duplicating it and reversing it to the other side. And then I took a measurement of the actual head that I had made, and that's what you saw back there is I made a circle that was proportionate. So it was all very proportionate. And then I cut these out, and I was on the fence. So the original pattern had black felt in the eye part, but the actual face is black. So I was like, I don't really feel like I needed to make black felt to go on top of that. I thought that might be a little redundant, so I chose not to. But at this point in time, I had not completely decided that whether or not I was going to cut out the black felt. So I left those on there just so I could have a choice to do that if I wanted to. This was super helpful, being able to tape it and place the eyes on there just to make sure again that it was proportional and that everything was going to work out the way I wanted it to. I had a very thick felt that I got from the Joann's closing, and I don't love that felt. So I am on the hunt for better felt. This was a very thick, stiff felt, but when I put the glue on it, the glue, you could like see the glue through it, so I had to go re-glue it. And I was going to have to re-glue it anyway because I used, what did I use on this? I used fabric glue, and that did not work even a little bit. So I went back and I used I think it's E3000 or something, and that worked great. That super stuck it on there. But just having that much glue on the back ended up kind of seeping through. So I had to go back through the edges and make sure it was well coated so it looked more uniform. But it worked out. It worked out really well. I was very happy with the eyes, and you can see drawing it out. This is when I decided, okay, I don't think I'm going to use the black felt, but I kept those just in case. And this is, here's the fabric glue that did not work out so well. I don't think I got a video of doing the E3000 because it was I let this sit for 24 hours and went back to it, and the eyes just popped right off. This fabric glue did not work, but he turned out super handsome. I'm very happy. I put a dowel in the back, a very long dowel to keep him sitting up. Otherwise the neck was way too floppy. And I was super happy with him. The person that, my neighbors who I gave this to, she was super happy. She's a huge fan. And this was for her baby. And yeah, he turned out great. So I want to make another one for myself and then another neighbor. And I'll look into getting that patent or whatever it is. Not the patent, I don't know. I want to be able to sell them. So I've got to look into that and figure out who to reach out to. So thanks for watching.